leave a lasting impression on all the other guys. Before we dive, make sure to keep an eye on it. If you're interested, please take a moment to subscribe. Prepared to change the way you manage connections by utilizing the strength of. Each video is a step closer to stoicism, controlling your thoughts and creating deeper, more significant relationships. First of all, thank you for wonderful scent. The scent of what you're wearing is addictive. Fantastic. Okay, let's begin with a strong scent that most men like. Ignore this, however, if you comprehend the deeper psychology of attraction, you will discover that a woman's aroma is among the strongest catalysts for. Consider how memory and desire work together. Frequently emits a particular scent right away, transporting you back in time to a particular location or even an individual. It's because aroma is closely related to the supplement the lake system, which is the top brains, the section in charge of emote and recollections of complimenting a woman's scent. You're not merely stating that she smells nice. First of all, you're letting her know that her aroma lasts in your thoughts even after she has left, and that's a mind-blowing idea for anyone, lady, but the harsh reality is that most guys aren't detail-oriented. They get rid of the praise for how you appear. That clothing is lovely, but a man who detects the vitality she smells, her fragrance and its impact on him, that man is distinctive. And now this is when stoicism is applied. A stoic man is aware of the power of words. He doesn't just say things without thinking. Confirmation that everything he says is purposeful, impactful, and intentional. So, when you mention that scent you're wearing is, say like you mean it, addicting, but don't. Overconfidence is silent. Deliver it with that. Desperation is loud. Consistent, grounded vibe, similar to a man who is aware of his worth. And when you do, watch how all of her body language changes. That compliment will stick in her memory, not simply momentarily, but each time she dons. Once more, the power of that perfume. Compliment of psychological attraction. Second, your smile could make the world a happier place. Let's dissect the entire room, as this one is the strongest, and most men ignore the fact that smiling is more than just a simple facial expression, a feeling, energy and frequency that can change the whole environment. When you inform a woman that a room may be illuminated by her grin, you're saying more than simply how lovely. You recognize her even though her teeth are missing. Energy that she brings with her magnetic aura. Everywhere she goes, she considers. You've visited spaces where someone's smile simply transforms everything into where the energy changes a little brighter, and all of a sudden, everyone is more relaxed. When you smile like that, it's not only about beauty, is a woman's ability to create a lighter atmosphere in a space with simply a praise and two lip curves that she has sway. And when you address it, you're demonstrating your comprehension of that power. You're telling her that you're there. The capacity to alter the surroundings using only your presence, but the number of compliments. 2. This is the brutal, cold fact that most guys get caught up in this without realizing it. Superficial praise regarding appearance, yet they miss a woman's smile's deeper layer. Is more than just how she looks. It's a representation of her inner world, transparency, and her capacity to communicate optimism in an often gloomy world. Harsh. So when you dump this praise, you're not merely being flattering. You're recognizing something uncommon in her. You're acknowledging her influence on those in her immediate vicinity, and that's a heartfelt compliment. Let's tie the knot now. Going back to stoicism, a guy who is stoic is someone who understands the power he provides, something he doesn't seek to the table, confirmation, but when he observes worth valuing in someone else, he exposes it directly without here hesitation. Is the same idea. A stoic man sees more than simply a smile. He is witnessing the impact of that smile, how it might counteract negativity and bring about illumination into the space, and let's be truthful. Who wouldn't be interested in hearing that? Would prefer not to be informed that they're just being there can alter the energy of. A woman doesn't hear that in a whole room daily, which is precisely why this compliment stays, because it's genuine, unfiltered, and number 3 is a powerful compliment. I adore your genuineness. You don't pretend to fit in, you're just you, and you're cruel. Being truthful for a moment in a world full of masks where everyone is pushed by social media to put on a false filter. Personalities are common, and where authenticity is rewarded by conformity, becoming into a rare and nearly revolutionary. Being a true trait is more than just being gorgeous. Telling a woman is a power move. I adore your authenticity. You're not just using a general admiration, you're recognizing something that the majority of are hesitant to reveal to the world: the bravery to finally be herself without apology. This is a reality check for women. Praise for their appearance all the time. When you're gorgeous, you appear stunning. Third compliment: you're quite beautiful. However, what occurs when a man informs her anything more profound that occurs as a compliment? Number 3, as you observe the center of. She is more than the surface, which is when a chord is struck, a connection that beyond the superficial surface level. Honor you're giving her by saying, I see you not the version you believe you must be. For everyone but the unfinished genuine you that strikes in a unique way. Since sincerity penetrates the noise, it demonstrates that you're not simply observing her from the perspective of attraction, but viewed via the prism of. Women are accustomed to being treated with real respect, appreciated for their appearance. However, when you recognize their true selves beneath all the magic occurs in the layers. At that point, you begin constructing a relationship founded on reverence for her actual self, not a phony representation of her. And let's not mince words, the truth is daunting, yet it's simple to fit in. To conceal oneself beneath the facade of what others anticipate, but as soon as someone dares to appear as their true, unadulterated selves, that's power, which is what genuinely distinguishes. Make a statement when you tell her you love her. She's so real, you're not simply praising her character, you're recognizing the fortitude required to be genuine in a society that expects conformity. In the field of authentic stoicism is closely related to the notion of living in accordance with a stoic man's actual nature doesn't bend or shatter to conform to social. He is not what others anticipate him to be. Pretenses, no concessions, and no acting. And the same idea holds true when you thank her for being authentic, expressing your admiration for that strength. Your recognition of that genuineness is a strength rather than a weakness. That distinguishes us in a world full with pretenders, and this is the nasty. The majority of individuals will never be as honest as she is, which is why this praise hits so hard that it's uncommon, but it's genuine, and in the end, it demonstrates that you're not intrigued by the phony renditions of. You desire the genuine compliment from folks. Fourth, I like how you perceive the world, and it truly makes a difference. Believe the world, let's face it, is complete complement of the fourth clone. Number 4 is praised by those who live there. The same tire opinions when autopilot pairing and adhering to the same predictable routines, but some people also, those who perceive the world, will notice you. Distinct individuals who don't simply drift along with the present challenge, but instead the current situation, and rethink how they engage with their surroundings. And when you observe that, when you recognize the depth to which you're utilizing a compelling narrative, I adore a woman's perspective on the world is not merely a compliment, it's a acknowledgement of her intellect and her capacity to think critically, notice subtleties, and ask questions. You're clearly telling her that you care about your opinions in a world where The majority of men are fixated on what's on the surface of her appearance, how she dressed, or whether she's the ideal. You're slicing through all of that mold. Frivolous chatter and showing her gratitude. Intelligence, which is uncommon. Here's the truth though, most individuals are confined to their own bubble. They surround themselves with similar, considering the same type of persons. That makes things easier, but when you come across someone who doesn't share all other individuals who view things from another viewpoint, which is when things start to intriguing, you can't resist being drawn in to adopt a fresh perspective that the world, and if intelligent, you acknowledge the value you find admirable when you tell her that you adore her appearance. The world, you're demonstrating to her. You're telling me that viewpoint matters. That her thoughts don't simply reverberate they have an effect in an empty room. Now consider regarding this for a moment. The compliments are inexpensive, particularly when they concentrate on superficial things. You're very lovely. You look fantastic, and I adore your hair. Can discard those, but when you state that I adore your perspective on the world, you're acknowledging her by going deeper. Remember that you're curious about how she evaluates life according to her interpretation, observes how she interprets the turmoil, which is uncommon, and it's exactly what is a marker that distinguishes you from the crow, that you are more than a man who receives, preoccupied with physical attractiveness, yet a man. The fifth praise is for someone who values substance. Compliment number 5, who sees past appearances and lets be. The majority of men here don't give a damn about her. Keep in mind that they're too busy pursuing the next shiny object, but as soon as you express interest in her mind, the way she thinks the world, at which point you begin to construct a genuine relationship. You're not just you're a guy who's trying to get into her pants. Man who values the qualities that make her distinct. What distinguishes it from the others? Ladies who merely adhere to this is when stoicism enters the picture. The stoic man understands the importance of wisdom, of having a clear view, of wondering about what he's seeing and looking more closely, realizing that a stoic doesn't adhere to the crowd. He follows his own route and observes life via his own perspective and values the distinct viewpoints of others. Thus, when you compliment her, saying that you're using that same principle in a subtle way, acknowledging the strength of independent, acknowledging her for having the bravery to accept her individuality, viewpoint at the conclusion of the day. This is more than just a praise regarding her. Observes the universe, which is a compliment about her ability to see and see beyond the evident in order to uncover the deeper significance, and to cause you to reconsider how you see things. And you believe me, which is what distinguishes the true men from the boys those who value genuine depth from individuals who are only playing the superficial game. I'd like to hear it quickly from you. Please leave a comment below and explain which of these praises would you give me, truly utilize in a discussion, or even better, but enter this in the comment section. Power, and I am able to utilize it, keeps what you've learned in place and increases engagement. So let's find out who's actually making a payment. Fifth attention getter compliment. I adore. Your enthusiasm is infectious and makes me aspire to be my best self. Energy, let's face it, is everything. You've most likely met those folks. Those that sap the life out of you. From each chamber, however, there are those who illuminate it in the manner of individuals whose vitality doesn't only fill when you tell the space, it demands it. I adore your enthusiasm. It's not simply a brief remark that you're acknowledging the power she carries with her. Number 6, presence compliment. The sixth compliment makes everyone feel better. It's like a glow around her that sparks something inside of you that pushes. You should improve in order to level up and become. Being fun isn't the only reason to have greater energy. The goal is to be a presence that encourages others to want to be when they are at their best, and when you inform her that her vitality is infectious, you're telling her that she is the type of person who motivates others, development and action. The harsh reality is that life doesn't. Waiting is necessary if you want to succeed. Be in the company of individuals who make you. You should use that to elevate others like her. The ones are the infectious energy type, who encourages you to succeed. She doesn't only exist in the world and improve it by being really herself. From a Stoic viewpoint, the Stoics are powerful, believed in mastering oneself, not only regulating what we can, but the environment, ourselves, alongside those who push us to grow into our greatest selves. By being aware of her energy, you're recognizing the influence she has on your development. It's not simply about making her feel fantastic, since this is about realizing fuel her vitality is a call to action rather than just a feeling, the type of presence that compels. You should quit settling and begin living your abilities. And in a society where the majority of men are confined to mediocrity, which is the type of lady you need at your side. Sixth compliment: you're genuinely among the most considerate individuals I've. Have you ever shown genuine concern for other people? In it, let's face it, in a world of self-serving games and phony personas, sincere consideration is a uncommon item that everyone is vying for, searching for what they can obtain. However, those that truly care, who put others, immediately get her attention when you tell her she is among the most considerate individuals. You're not only paying, have you ever met? You are perceiving depth in lip service. Not only is it the grand jest, but it's the tiny things, keeping in mind little details. From earlier discussions, checking in on someone who's having trouble leaving. Her method of giving others a sense of worth. The hallmark of a compliment is behavior. Compliment number. A 77-year-old woman who isn't only interested in focus but on providing something genuine, and when you realize that, it indicates now you can see her for who she truly is. The thing that most people in the world today are self-centered. Status is everything. Followers, rapid success, yet careful. People had worth and were unique. Not simply accept when you point that out. You're doing more than just recognizing her. Acts that demonstrate your regard for her personality. Something more profound than the obvious. In the realm of the red pill, we understand that deeds speak louder than words. It's about figuring out what's true. Rather than being ostentatious, her thoughtfulness is a mirror of her moral character, which is something that is timeless. This particular female doesn't. She's just playing the game for herself. Someone who actually contributes value. From a Stoic standpoint, we respect. The lesson of moral stoicism is to acknowledge what really counts, leading a life of honesty and consideration for others. Thus, when you recognize her consideration, you're not only identifying a characteristic, you're paying respect to. Strength is something that this woman exemplifies. Value, and that is something that is valuable. Thank you for the sixth compliment, Sai. I adore your drive and sense of purpose is incredibly motivating. Therefore, let's face it, ambition is more than merely pursuing wealth or prestige. Is about the internal fire that motivates you to continue. Regardless, keep grinding and keep going. How difficult life is in the modern world of instant satisfaction for those who concentrate on their quest, who awaken each day. Stand out when you have a purpose. You show a woman you love how motivated you are. Are you admitting something beyond her hustle alone? You're acknowledging her drive, her perseverance, and her unwillingness to accept mediocrity in a society in which a large number of people merely float through life anticipating. She is out there creating things occur, and that's uncommon. You're saying her that you notice the late effort, nights, the sacrifices, and the never-ending work. I see you pushing yourself, you say, to realize your capacity to construct Anything genuine that isn't merely a. The eighth compliment is this one. Acknowledgement. It indicates to her that her motivation. The eighth compliment is observed, revered, admired, and in a world where packed of fleeting exchanges that strikes hard, and we live in a society where so many people are happy to barely make ends meet, fearful of stepping outside of their comfort zone. Out, but a driven woman isn't. She's out because she's scared to pursue her vision. Come with the intention of removing obstacles and bringing about change, and when you call that out, you're informing her of her. You're telling her that she's not simply a fleeting diversion, she's a formidable force in the red pill space. We recognize that the drive is both important. Men and women require that fire to prosper. Without it, you're merely an additional public persona. But when someone has that goal, that individual has real value, and as a Stoic you understand that genuine virtue is found in dedication to one's purpose, in the never-ending pursuit of perfection. Giving her driving praise isn't simply. It's flattering because it acknowledges her strength is respecting the reality that she is purposefully living and creating anything tangible in a universe of distractions. Your number 8 possess this amazing ability to create. People seem at ease and genuinely appreciated. Let's discuss emotive, exceptional, nearly miraculous intelligence. The capacity to give people the impression that they actually matter in a human-populated world. Continuously attempting to establish their value, or provide the impression that they are more significant than they are. A person with this talent catches your attention. You've seen it. Someone who enters a room and immediately alters the energy that they don't need to express. How much their presence by itself makes folks feel comfortable, as though they've been acknowledged for their true selves. No fakes are necessary when telling a woman you have an amazing talent for creating. People are at ease and feel appreciated. You're highlighting something that the majority of individuals ignore it. It's not only about having a lovely grin or being attractive. This goes deeper into the influence she has. It's about how she lifts others people up, how she establishes an environment where others are able to exist and be authentic without fear of judgment. Let's take a moment to be realistic about how. Final thoughts. How many individuals do you know? Most people are able to make others feel seen. Final decision to wrap themselves up. Their personal fears, their requirement for confirmation that they are unable to assist others. Feel good about themselves. But she knows someone who is emotionally intelligent. How to deal with human emotions. Read a room and modify her level of energy. Consequently, this is where the reality of today's world is that to establish a closer connection is a superpower, and once you make that clear, you're not merely giving a woman a compliment. Her appearance, you're acknowledging her worth. In a society that frequently honors the superficial rather than deep, and who doesn't want to feel seen, really? Who doesn't want to feel like they're real? Comprehension from a Stoic viewpoint. This compliment also touches on the Stoics' virtue of empathy. Felt that the significance of comprehending others and acknowledging their humanity and cultivating significant connections founded on respect for one another. To make others feel genuinely appreciated, you must knowledge and consciousness of oneself, and that's what you're recognizing when you provide this. Excellent. You're not merely acknowledging her capacity to relate to you, understanding the strength required to be open, genuine, and vulnerable in a world. It requires you to conceal who you really are and to be honest. In the realm of red pill thinking and masculinity, being one of the most potent things is real. You can be for yourself as well as for others in your immediate vicinity, and there you have it. 8 strong compliments that go beyond mere flattery. These are not merely phrases chosen at random to impress someone. They're interested in creating a genuine relationships and informing her that you see If you discovered her for who she really is, these praises are powerful. Until the effects of the right. First thing in the morning, the words click on the video that appears on your display. No woman can overlook these 7 excellent. Believe me, you don't want to send early texts. Remember to like this one and don't miss it. And to see more material, subscribe.